What's going on, guys? Rogue back with another Final Fantasy 15 news update. As I am doing this more and I am gaining more, and I'm glad for the support on the last couple of videos. We had a video that hit over 200 views. Thank you for that, and I hope to branch 300 because seriously, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. Hit a 300 video view, that'd be amazing. Like even for just for me. But got a new article for you guys that I did state in my last video. Um, you know, just Final Fantasy news and everything, Final Fantasy 15 news. Now, this article is on gearnuke.com. You can find it on when you search it up on Google and everything. Um, this article is about Japan. Amazon list Final Fantasy 15 for June 2016 date. Release date or update. Okay, you got a basically release date. Okay, let's dive into this. I'm gonna give you my thoughts basically in the rest of the video and what this means for basically Final Fantasy 15 coming out in the next couple months, because it is, it's a big game for 2016. It's a big game for the Final Fantasy franchise basically, because this is the 15th installment in the main franchise. We've been waiting for this announcement ever since 13 and 14 was like basically fails, just straight up fails. Sorry for my little fart noise. That was just my attempt for, a fail noise, just really fails because I play a little bit 13's too linear for us, and now that we're getting a open world Final Fantasy, which is the newest style, and it's not like it's not quick time events, it's not turn based. It is like it's basically real time action. And all right, let's dive into this article because we are talking. I'm going over what I hated about Final Fantasy 7 and all that, or Final Fantasy 13 and everything. And 14 I never played. I should play the Realm of Warrants. I want to get into it, but I'm not an MMO guy. As the recent MMO I got into, DC Universe Online, I'm liking it because of superhero effect, and I really like superheroes. I tried Elder Scrolls, couldn't really get into it because it was like, I don't know. But let's talk about this. Square Enix has still blah. I'm sorry, guys. Square Enix hasn't confirmed a release date for Final Fantasy 15. The game will get a confirmed release date in the upcoming event in March 2016. Was when to keep in mind that I will review that. I will watch that and I will review that, and I will talk to you guys about my thoughts on whenever they announce there, what release dates we get, and if we get some more Kingdom Hearts news, I'll also talk about that as well. But it is still listed as a 2016 release. While the release window still hasn't been confirmed, Amazon Japan seems to have the game listed for a June 2016, pointing towards the summer 2016 release window for the game. Update: this is not an official seller on Amazon and appears to be a third-party seller. The official product listing can be found here and is listed with a December 2016 placeholder. The original story can be read below. Final Fantasy 15 was originally announced in E3. Well, we're not gonna read all that because we already know that. Currently developed by PS4, Tetsuya Nomura, originally attached, everything, blah 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 blah. It also released a demo, Type 0, earlier this year. We know that demo, Episode of Sky. Yeah, that's the whole article right there, because it's not a real thing. It's a third party holder basically talking about this. Now reading that article, it's like basically saying like, is it true or is it not true? Now, my thoughts on if it's true. This could mean a way earlier experience for this game. Like seriously, like it can mean a way bigger experience for this game, because this game is gonna be massive for RPG fans. Like, to be honest, if you like Final Fantasy, if you like RPGs in general, you're gonna want to play this game. This game is the JRPG game, or ARPG as an action RPG. It's gonna be it's gonna be a pretty big game. It's a pretty big game that we're all looking forward to as a Final Fantasy franchise and a Final Fantasy fan base. We're all looking forward to this, and I am as well. As I'm putting out videos talking about it. I'm, doing my best of giving you guys the content and all of that, and I'm giving you guys the latest updated info because I might not be the best guy to do it, but I'm trying. So, but it'll give us a faster and wider experience for this game. I think that hints back to a video I put out a while back, like a couple weeks or probably a month back, stating that Final Fantasy will get a release date or release window for, or we get a second demo, which might be replaced with the real game if it is coming out next year. If it's coming out next year, then that means it might actually, get a it might get the actual full game, because if they announce in March, June something 2016, I'll be entirely happy, because it'll give us a thing to play for the summer along with No Man's Sky. Those will be the two biggest games for summer. Now, what games came out in the summer that have like been big, or early this year have been big? Bloodborne and The Witcher 3. I think those are the two biggest games that came out this summer, and that have been really, 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 really big. Like, that have been really, really, you know, big this year, because people love Bloodborne and people love The Witcher 3. Now, for next year, as a summer game, that is Final Fantasy 15, Uncharted 4, and No Man's Sky. I hope those are the games that come out. I hope No Man's Sky is not a glitch-tastic game, because it is a procedurally generated game. I'm glad they're working with Sony and everything with this as a timed exclusive, I believe. But treading off from the topic and getting back on topic, I hope this is true. I hope. But if it's false, I believe it'll be a great fall game, because that'll also give it a great contender for a fall game, because it might be if it does come out in the fall, it'll probably be the only fall game I buy, considering whatever else is stated for the fall, as well as probably No Man's Sky, and I believe Persona 5, which might come out for the fall for us, because Japan gets it in the summer. Gave them a couple months to do the English translations right, do all that for everybody else, and like, English and other language translations, so they can port it to different countries, and yeah, just do that, just have it in different countries. So if we have it like that, then we'll probably wait for the fall for that as well. Those probably be the only 3 games I buy in the fall, which will be pretty big games that are open world games as well. Pretty big, but I don't know. I mean, this could really be big for us as Final Fantasy fans. Like, for one, people who don't have anything to do during the summer, you'll have something to do during the summer. You'll have an open world game with hopefully a dynamic story, because we don't know the story, but hopefully in the next active time report, which is coming out in January, we can get more about this, so we can we can understand what this plot is actually, what the plot is really, and what it actually on. We know some of the plot, but we don't know all of the plot. Like, we don't know every single detail. But that's why I'm glad we're not getting all of it at once, because it'd be terrible just to put the whole plot in the one trailer just to tell us. We all know that it's basically like either a rescue story or a revenge story. It could be all that in one whole thing, or even like a betrayal story. I think it is a betrayal story due to time for going forward. As if this, like, let's go back to the old days. This was literally set in the fabulous. I'd probably have to say this for another video, just to talk about this entire topic and tell you guys what was really going on in this. Because remember, it was trying to be tied to Type 0 and Final Fantasy 13 way back when. But now that it's separate, we're probably never going to really understand where this is actually tied in the series, as it does like its own game. It might not get a sequel. It might just be a whole game. But I'm actually happy about that, because then we won't have to worry about like the next Final Fantasy coming out in like 4 to 5 years later. We'll probably get it in the next Final Fantasy, probably in the next 4 to 5 years, but not more than that. We'll probably get it in like 4 to 5 years, but we'll probably get it. We probably won't get like a sequel. If this game does great, they might do a sequel. But I've read articles stating that they weren't gonna do sequels. They weren't gonna do no more sequels to games unless it was mandatory. Like Final Fantasy VII is going to get like a Final Fantasy VII, the remake, the Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII 2, and then Final Fantasy VII, the last Final Fantasy VII 3, something like that. Like Lightning Returns, or the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. It's gonna be a trilogy thing. So, or more than that, probably more than that. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this article. Going off that, there was really nothing to talk about. I just bullshitted my way through. No, I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's all that Final Fantasy really gives us. Hopefully, it does come out in June. That'd be awesome to play for the summer. If you are here, see you guys in the next video.